Welcome back, you guys. Happy Sunday. And I hope you guys are all having a phenomenal day. The weather here is so gorgeous, and I hope that you guys find time to go out and enjoy the beautiful weather. I did. So this morning I went to church, and then I came home and I got my dog Molly, and we went for a walk around a little man-made lake that's near my house, and it was so nice. So now I'm just back inside trying to get some of my Sunday duties done, including homework and all of that. But hopefully at some point today you guys get to go outside and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful weather. So today I'm going to be telling you about the best date that I ever had. I don't know if you guys remember during the story time of the worst date I ever had, I had actually mentioned the best date. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So at the time I was living in Colorado, similar to the last story time, and I had met this guy off of Craigslist. And I know, I said, ladies, nothing good comes off of Craigslist, and that's true. Because while we did have an amazing first date, the rest of the dates just progressively started getting worse. So at least I do have the memory of the very good first one that we had. So I met him off of Craigslist, and for this story, we're going to call him Charles. And so Charles and I start exchanging emails, and then I give him my number and we start exchanging text messages. And something that really should have been a red flag for me off the beginning is that he took a really long time to answer text messages, and that definitely was not something that I liked. But you know, what can you do? You kind of have to give a little, and so that was just something that I had to overlook because I assumed that he was busy. So we started exchanging text messages, and then he asked me if I want to go out on a date, and I say sure. And he was insistent on picking me up at my house, which was so, like, it was super sweet, but it was also like a little foreign to me because I had never had somebody want to pick me up at my house, and I don't even know if that's like a thing that typically happens because I don't go on a whole lot of dates. But I agreed. I said that he could pick me up at my house, and so we set a date and time. And he pulls up into my driveway, and I immediately go outside because I don't know what to do, you guys. I'm so nervous. So of course I was like waiting for him right by the door, and when I see that he's there, I just go outside. And he didn't even get to get out of his car. I am so awkward, and that's probably why I don't go on many dates. But I open up his passenger door, and he is holding a single red rose, and it was so sweet. And he reaches his hand out and he says, "Hi, my name is Charles." So I get in his car, and gosh, he was just so adorable, like way better than the photos could have ever described him. He was very tall. I am only 5'6", but I want to say that he was like 6'4". Like, he was very tall. And he wore glasses, and he kind of had like that preppy nerdy look, which I really like. And he was just so cute, you guys. And so we had made plans to go out to dinner, and he said he had something planned after that. And so we were gonna go to this place called Ted's Montana Grill. They actually had one in Lakewood where I was living that was really close to my apartment, but he said that he wanted to take me to a different neighborhood. I'm trying to remember the name of the neighborhood. I want to say that it was Edgewater, and because that's the area that he lived in, and so he wanted to take me like to his stomping grounds, which I thought was super adorable. So we go, and it's a very long wait. So we sit at the bar, and I order a drink, and then we just decide that we're gonna eat at the bar, and I can't remember what we ordered. It is important. So we're sitting next to each other, we're eating dinner at the bar, and we're talking, and I'm really like, the conversation was so good. Like, have you guys ever been on one of those dates where it's like so painful to try to have a conversation, or you're sitting there and you're constantly thinking of like what you can talk about next? Or even maybe you've like rehearsed it a little bit. That's usually what has to happen to me on dates. And so whenever I go out with somebody and the conversation flows so naturally, it just makes me like that person so much more. I hate when I have to force conversation. And so it was just flowing so nicely. We finish our dinner and he's like, okay, let's go. We're going to go do something fun. And I'm like, okay, I'm like so excited. I'm like, okay, let's go. And so we're walking back to his car and he holds my hand, which I was like, oh, this guy, like he is just tugging at my heartstrings. Like I'm so smitten right now. And we go and we drive to another town that's nearby, and he takes me to a video game lounge, you guys. Like, I can't even. And for those of you who don't know me in real life or don't know me that well, I am a complete video game nerd. Like, I don't have as much time to play as I'd like to, especially now that I've incorporated going to the gym and being active in my church. I don't have as much time to play as I'd like, but every time I do have free time, I can play World of Warcraft for hours. And what are the coincidences that like this guy, what are the coincidences? What are the chances that it's a coincidence that this guy happens to play World of Warcraft too? Like, I couldn't even believe it when I found out. I was just like, I love you. I mean, not really, like I didn't say that, and of course I didn't really mean that, but I was just like, this guy is awesome. So he takes me to this video game lounge, and it's like one of those, I don't know if you guys have them in your town, but you pay for an hour or two and you can like rent one of their computers and play video games on it. So we both log into World of Warcraft, and he played a rogue and I played a mage. And I know that's going to be jargon for those of you who do not play World of Warcraft, but he mostly played PvP, which is like player versus player, which is essentially like instead of fighting a computer generated monster or dragon, you are fighting against another player, like another real life person who's in a different location other than you. Like they're an actual person controlling that character. So we queued up for what's called Battlegrounds, which is a whole bunch of player versus player. And I'm just running around on my mage and he's running around on his rogue, and we're like killing people, and it was amazing. So then we leave the video game lounge, and he is trying to get back to my apartment that I was living in, and he gets a little bit lost, and it's really, really late at night by this time. And so we finally end up finding it after taking like a welcomed detour. I was not upset that he was lost at all because we were just talking and it was such a good time. And he takes me back to my place, and he walks me to my doorstep, and he gives me a hug. There was no kiss that night. He gives me a hug and says that he can't wait to see me again. And I went inside and he went home, and then a little bit later, he did text me when he got home and said that he really did want to kiss me, but he didn't want to be disrespectful to my family who lived adjacent to me. My cousin lived adjacent to me, and he didn't want to be disrespectful to them, which I thought was super cute. And so Charles and I went on, and we went on to date. I think we probably over 12 dates after that, and then unfortunately things didn't work out. I don't think we had the same ambitions, and he had a lot of personal issues going on in his life at that time. And before I left Colorado, he and I actually spoke, and he had moved to Las Vegas and wanted to keep in touch, but we didn't keep in touch. He started dating somebody, and I think they're married now, actually. I'm not quite sure if they got married, but yeah, so, but the time that we did spend together, I really, really, really did enjoy. And so I feel like every person that you encounter in this world is brought into your life for a reason. And I think that the reason that Charles was brought into my life was to give me a good experience on a first date, because that was literally the sweetest first date I've ever had. And so I really appreciate and enjoy the time that we did get to spend together before things started not working out. But alright, you guys, that is my story for this weekend. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please tell all of your friends about it, because I'm so excited to be creating stuff on YouTube. And I'm hoping to get a pretty good following, which will give me the resources to be able to provide higher quality videos. And so I am going to be putting out every new video every weekend. I am going to stop saying Saturday, because Saturday seems to not be working out well for me. It happens to be on Sundays the last couple of weeks. So thank you so much for tuning in. It really, really means the world to me. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful upcoming week. Bye.